Many people open Claude, type a few prompts, get some good results and think, wow, that's it. Because that's the culture ChatGPT has created. Most people using Claude don't even know half of its features exist. What are profile settings? What are projects? What are skills in Claude? How to use cowork? Which model to use? What is Claude Code? What are artifacts? If these words sound too much for you right now, this video is your starting point. This is India's Claude Masterclass series, specifically designed for you guys working professionals. Each video in this series will focus on one specific feature and I will take you through in-depth with use cases and live demo. This is the first video of the series, Introduction to Claude, your complete Claude onboarding from pricing and interface all the way to artifacts, connectors and skills. Set this up right once and every single video in this series will 10x your output at work. Again, think like a developer and act like a dumb fuck. That's my quote for this series. Throughout the series, you will know why I came up with this quote. Now let's start from scratch and build your Claude properly. Before we even open Claude, let's talk about money because this trips a lot of people up. Claude has 3 plans: free, pro and team. Free gives you very limited access, good enough to explore but not enough to rely on if you're using it for professional work. Pro is $20 per month plus 18% GST. I know the screen shows $17, but that is if you buy their annual plan. How much exactly will it cost? I will show you my March invoice. Okay, so if you see here, this is my billing, March billing. Let me zoom in. So if you see $20 is their monthly charges plus $3.6, that is 18% GST charges. Total amount to be paid is $23.6. So if we convert that into INR plus Forex charges, everything, I pay in a month 2,200. So that's the actual cost. The pro version is what I recommend for any serious working professional. You get priority access, higher usage limits and access to all their models. Team is for big companies. If you have more people under you, then you will get more usage, shared projects and admin controls, etc. Now, one thing most people don't know is there is also API, right? The API is not the same as regular subscriptions. It is for developers who want to build products using Claude. Pricing there is per token, meaning you pay exactly what you use. If you are a non-technical professional, you don't need the API, stick to Claude Pro. Simple rule is the free version is to explore, pro version is for working and API is to build the actual software. If you're wondering what is API, it is application programming interface. For example, right now you're using Claude for yourself, right? Even if you build some software and you are using it for yourself. What if you want to turn that software into a company, right? A platform where customers use it or your clients use it, right? If you build something for your client, your UI, whatever you build, that is your software and there is your client, right? In between, the entire infrastructure is done by Claude intelligence, right? To run that intelligence from your UI to that intelligence and then bring it back and forth, that entire operation, that vehicle is what is called API, right? Application Programming Interface. Okay, let's get started with the interface. When you open Claude, this is how it looks. In the center, you have the chat box, like how ChatGPT has. On the left side, if you expand the sidebar, you have all your history, your chats, for example, all the recent chats, everything you have saved, projects, everything you have on the left sidebar. Top, you have create new chat. You can directly create new chat. And you have search bar. You can search through the chat or throughout Claude, whatever is there in the history chats. And then you have projects, artifacts, you have code here. And then these are starred. Whatever I have starred, these are the starred projects that come here, recent. It'll show here. At the left bottom, you have profile settings. So if you click, you will get all your account related. I will show you how to do the settings. Here, language, all those things. And then center, you have your chats and then you have all the models here. I'll give an introduction of each one. So this is your interface. And at the top, you have your incognito window. You can use it incognito. if you don't want to save the history. So this is the basic interface, clean and minimal, and it looks like there is not much distraction, but at the back end a lot of things are happening in Claude. So let's go one by one. Let's see the settings here. Click on profile and settings, or if you want to collapse this, you can collapse it, only icons will show, and you can click on it, settings. So here under profile settings, you set it up, your name, and then what do you want the Claude to call, because it keeps repeating in your chats and in your home search bar, etc. Then what best describes you, this is the category you can select. Since my channel comes under finance category, I've selected finance because large part is related to my my channel and as well as my client, which is Vested Finance. So this is very important here, personal preference, right? This will be referenced by almost all the chats that you will be using in the future. So make it as detailed as possible, as specific as possible, because largely Claude is used for my channel. I've used here, I run YouTube channel 25 plus corporate professionals in India from tier 1 cities, because I don't do regional content. This is mainly for urban. The core audience are from the metro cities. So this is notification. Basically, when you're writing long quotes, right, Claude will ask if you want Claude to send notification once that code writing is done, right, or whatever the task that you have given to Claude. If that is done, Claude will send you notification, because Claude takes time to build certain things, artifacts, or writing a code, creating a tool, etc., or running a complex stuff. It takes a lot of time. So I don't need any notification. When it is done, I'll come back and check. So I like very minimum notifications. That's why I've not set up here. If you want, you can set it up. Here, dark mode and light mode. So you can change it to dark mode. I've kept it light, which is like system. These things I've set it default. If you want to change, you can change it. The second important setting you have to do here is capabilities. Come all the way here. If you see capabilities, here we have memory. This is very, very important. Generate memory from chat history. Allow Claude to remember relevant context from your chats. I turned it on because I need, let's say something I'm chatting, I left it and then come back after some time and try to, ask Claude questions related to that chat or that project. And I don't want Claude to all of a sudden, to ask me again to give the whole context and to explain the whole thing. So I want Claude to remember, that's why I've switched it on. So if you want to turn on this, you can turn this on. I don't want this to allow Claude to, because I have different projects and each project acts like a different context altogether. That's why I want Claude to remember only the project settings. I don't want to search throughout in the past chats. That's why I've not set it on. Okay, let's move on to the next thing, which is models. What models Claude has. Claude is actually not one AI. It's a family of different models. Right now, what you need to know is 3 important models. That is Sonnet, Opus, and Haiku. Now, right now they have Opus is like a is for the complex work. Largely, the developers use this model. Sonnet is in the middle ground and Haiku is for the fast answers. Haiku is like ChatGPT. So it gives fast answers and it doesn't do like deep thinking process. So one thing you need to keep in mind is Haiku gives some errors if you try to do data analysis and stuff. Don't even touch Haiku. Sonnet is your best thing. Till recent they had Sonnet 4.5, which was good. Sonnet 4.6 recently released, which is as good as Opus. Opus, when do you use it? When you have complex work, something like you want to create software, like when you do the base work for your software creation, where there is a lot of code writing or complex work process, that is when you use Opus 4.6. But the problem with Opus is it consumes a lot of usage tokens. Think like Indian Yamaha RX bike, right? It is so good, that bike is so good, and it has so much of power, sound, like riding thrill, everything is fine, but it drinks a lot of petrol, right? Just like that, Opus consumes a lot of usage tokens. Next, let's see prompting. What is a good prompting? Prompting is the single most important skill you need to develop with Claude, and most people get this completely wrong. A bad prompt is vague, right? Just typing and asking Claude to give. A good prompt should have 4 key elements. One is giving context, who you are and what is your situation, right? Which is very easy to do. And 2 is the task. What exactly do you want Claude or one of these models to do for you, right? 3 is the format. How do you want the output? Bullet points, a table, 500 words, or a table presentation, PPT, or PNG image. What format do you want? That is the output, right? And 4 is the tone. Do you want it in a professional tone, casual tone, or if you're writing a script which should sound like you? These are 4 key points when you do a good prompting. What I'm showing you right now, this is the web version, the browser version. They also have an app. So if you see the desktop version, it has chat, code, and co-work, right? Now, what is the fundamental difference, right? The browser version works anywhere. You open a browser and you log in and just start working like a chat, right? The desktop Claude can actually see your computer screen. It can work with files on your computer directly, right? If you give access, it will work automatically.